scenario similar to this while reading The Night Before Christmas. This year, I want to do something a little different. This story takes place around Christmas time, but it is not usually considered a Christmas story. It is a fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen, and I must warn you, it is a tragic tale indeed. So, would you like for me to read it to you? It's part of my Hans Christian Andersen illustrated treasury. See, it's got the little mermaid on the front. Alright, let's get started. This is the tale of the Little Match Girl. It was the last day of the year. It was very cold and nearly dark. Snow was falling fast. A poor little girl was walking through the streets. She only had a thin dress and a shawl. She had lost her shoes jumping out of the way of a carriage, and her bare feet were frozen blue. She earned money by selling matches to rich folk. She carried them in her apron and held a bundle in her hands. All day, no one had bought any from her, nor given her a single penny in kindness. Shivering and hungry, she crept along sadly. Snowflakes fell on her long hair. She sat down on the snowy footpath against a wall, not daring to go home without a single penny, because her father was mean and would be very angry with her. Her hands were so cold, perhaps a burning match would warm them. She pulled one out and struck it. Against a wall. It was bright, like a candle. The match was so warm to her that the little girl felt she was sitting beside a large iron stove. She stretched out her feet to warm her toes. Then suddenly the match went out and the stove vanished. She quickly lit another one, striking it on the wall. This time, in the match's light, she thought she saw the wall to a room inside with a wonderful dinner table. elegant white tablecloth was a roast goose stuffed with apples and dried plums. Amazingly, the goose got up and waddled over towards her. Then the match went out, and there was only a wall. She lit another match and found herself sitting under a beautiful Christmas tree. Candles burned on its branches, which were hung with colored ribbons and pretty decorations. She stretched out her hands toward it. Then the match went out. In the darkness, the Christmas lights seemed to burn, rising higher and higher, until they were like stars in the sky. She saw one of the stars fall and remembered what her dear grandmother had said. A falling star is a soul going up to meet God. Her grandmother had died some time ago, but the girl still felt her warm love. She struck another match. Up on the wall, there in the shining light stood her old grandmother, calm and welcoming. "Grandmama," she cried out, "don't vanish when the light goes out. Take me with you." She quickly lit all the matches in her hand, and they burned brighter than the sun at noon. Her grandmother hugged her close. Together they flew upwards to glowing happiness far above the earth, to be with God, where there was no cold or hunger. The next morning, people found the little girl's body lying in the snow, frozen. She was still holding a bundle of matches, but smiling. No one knew she had seen such beautiful things, nor imagined her joy now with her beloved grandmother. Maybe it wasn't as sad as I expected. Sad because the little girl was hungry and she died frozen, but she was with her grandmother and now she's in heaven, so that's kind of a happy ending. I wanted to read this for Christmas because I recently was inspired. Well, I don't know if inspired is the right word, but I recently realized or remembered the true meaning of Christmas, which I was kind of bitter about because I had grown to believe that it was just another excuse for capitalism to make money. But it is actually a season of giving, not just for your loved ones, but Saint Nicholas helped the poor and children, especially needy children, like the little match girl. And if you want to make a difference in a little match girl's life, you should donate. I've been donating. I want to, volunteer at homeless shelters. That is difficult for me because I don't drive right now, but hopefully I'm learning to drive. And maybe when I get a car, after I get my license, I will be able to help the poor and needy more than just donating old clothes and money to organizations. That was my dog coughing for some reason. But I certainly did. This was actually my first time reading it completely. I knew the story. If you like fairy tales like I do, you just pick it up along the way of your studies. Because I'm a nerd, I don't just read them, I do research about them. But I never actually read it. And the illustrations, who were they by? Anastasia Archibova. They are beautiful. But I hope you'll have a Merry Christmas. Remember to help those in need and to tell the ones that you love them. You don't know if you have tomorrow.